everyone, this is Sanchita and today we will learn about variables and data types in Java. So before moving on, let us first understand what a variable is. So suppose you have a person and another person and yet another person. How will you call them? Person 1, person 2, person 3? No. They have their names, say Kate, Jones and Ray. And whenever you call Jones, the person 2 comes to you. Similarly, for the values which we use in a program, suppose the marks you scored in your subjects: physics, chemistry, maths, English and programming. These can be the names of the values. Alright, so whenever you call chemistry, the number 97 should come to you. Hence, these are the values and the names are called the variables. So, we can say that variables are the named memory locations that contain a data. The variables are stored in your computer memory, and whenever you call any variable, the data associated with that variable comes to you. Now, the data which will come to you can be of various types, like integer data, say 56, 57,000 or 2,000 or 1 lakh or whatever, an integer number. It can be a real data, like 56.65, a data with a decimal value. It can be a character data, like A, B, C, hashtag or 1, 2, 3, 4, anything. That is a character. It can be a statement like hello world. It can be choice of true or false. So moving on, we can say that data types are the words which define the type of data that a variable will store. Now, the data types are classified into two: primitive and non-primitive data type. So here you can see that byte, char, short, int, long, float and double, these are all the primitive data types. While non-primitive data types have classes, arrays, objects, strings, etc. But we are not going to deal with the non-primitive data type. We'll be dealing only with the primitive data type for now. We will see only the strings in this video, while the others will be done in the later part of the course. Just as you occupy space on Earth, similarly, a variable occupies space in memory. Now, how does it do so? A computer understands only the binary codes, that is 0 and 1. So, a block is created inside a memory which stores either 0 or 1. And that block is called a bit. Alright, so a bit is going to store either 0 or 1. Now, if we have a collection of 8 bits, it's called a byte. Okay, so all of these blocks will store either 0 or 1. And if we look at the total possible combinations using permutations and combinations of your class 12th, you can say that there are 2 to the power 8 possible combinations, which gives out 256. That simply means that one byte can store up to 256 different values. Now, these blocks will be occupied in the memory. The 8 blocks are going to be occupied in the memory. Suppose you created a variable of the size of a byte. So, it will occupy 8 blocks in your memory. That is 8 bits in the memory or 1 byte in the memory. Alright, moving ahead, we can say that 1 byte can store 256 values. But there, we also have negative values. So we divide it by 2, which comes out to be 128. So, the range is from minus 128 to 127. That is, we can store the numbers from minus 128 to 127. If you are wondering why isn't it 8 over here, then recall that we also have a 0 in between, which accounts for it being 7. Now we have various data types in Java which stores integer values. Byte is one of them. The size is 8 bits and the range is going to be 2 to the power 8, which accounts to be 256 and comes out to be minus 128 to plus 127. Similarly, we have short. The size is 16 bits and the range comes out to be this. We have int. The most commonly used data type is int. The size is 32 bits and the range comes out to be this. And then we have long for really big integers and the size is 64 bits and the range comes out to be this. If you can read this out, do read it and mention in comments. Now, we have real values, that is the value with a decimal point in it. The type is float and the size is 32 bits. And the range is 7 decimal digits. That means after that decimal or point, you can have up to 7 numbers. Then we have double with 64 bits and you can have up to 16 numbers after that decimal point. Now moving on, we have character values and the data type is char. The size is 16 bits and it can have ASCII values from 0 to 255. Now what are ASCII values? Just as you are calling person 1, person 2 and person 3, similarly for each and every character or alphabet or number or whatever special character you have, there is an ASCII value assigned to it, which ranges from 0 to 255. For example, A have an ASCII value of 95, B 96, C 97. Similarly, from 0 to 255, we have different characters and each character is assigned an ASCII value. This will be more clear to you when we will be doing it in the programs. Now, we have Boolean values with the data type as Boolean. Size is 1 bit and it either stores true or false, that is 1 or 0. Now, for storing statements, we use a non-primitive data type string, and we will be dealing with that while we learn how to input and of course output the string. Moving on to the declaration and initialization part, this is how we declare a variable. Say integer type variable, we write the data type int and then the variable names, say A, B, C, and then we initialize it. The process of defining the value that each variable is going to store is called initialization. Like 10 is stored in A, 80 in B, 5 in C. Now whenever you are going to call B, the number 80 will come to you. Now we can also do this declaration and initialization stuff together, like int A equals to 10. Here int A is the declaration and 10 is being initialized to A. Moving on, we have to learn to take the user input. Just as in the last video you saw that scanner sc equals to new scanner system.in helps you in taking user input, where sc is the object and scanner is the class, and using this sc object we use the functions defined in the scanner class. We will go into the details in the later part of the course. For now, you just understand that while taking an integer input, we say int a equals to sc.nextInt. Alright, now if you move on to the double data type, we say double b equals to sc.nextDouble. See capital D over here while small d over here. That is because this is a wrapper class. We will be dealing in the later part, but for now just learn this, that this is how we take a double input. For string, we just use string str equals to sc.next. Now the string s is capital over here. That is because string is a class. It's a non-primitive data type. Now let's move on to the coding part in the Eclipse IDE. So here we are in the Eclipse IDE, and this is the package Java Basics we created for this tutorial. Right click on this, go to New, and make a class. Say with the class name, say input. Now take care to specify the name as unique as possible, because we cannot specify class names as the reserved words which are already there in the language, which have their specified meaning. For example, you can't name a class as public because public already has a meaning in the language. So try to keep the names unique until you learn what are the keywords you cannot use while naming a class. Now we also need this public static void main here, and say finish, and all your work would be done and the class code would be generated automatically. Moving on here, let's first write scanner sc equals to new scanner system.in. Right? Now this will show an error over here. Click on it and import this. Now we want a user input. So first we should specify the user that you need to enter a number. Say sysout control and spacebar and write it over here. Enter an integer. Alright, and now we should learn to take the integer input. Int a equals to sc.next int. Alright, this will take the value that the user has entered and store it into a. Let's run this, but before we should take the double input as well. Say sysout, enter a double, or enter a real value, and then do it as double b equals to sc.next double. Alright, now let's run this. And you may be wondering, why was there a need for different data types? Now, say if you want to input a phone number from the user, which should have only the numbers. Now a user tried entering an alphabet in it, then it should give an error instead of saving the wrong entered input, right? So therefore we need a data type which helps us in recognizing the type of data we are required with. Alright, now let's enter an integer, say 5, and then let's enter a double number 9.9 say, and there's no error. However, if you try entering a number like integer 8.8, then there's the error, exception in the thread main. Now if you can then learn these errors, these will help you to a great extent. Alright, now let's learn how to take a string input. Say sysout and enter your first name and store it in a string variable. Say string str1 equals to sc.next int. sc.next. Alright, and then print sysout, enter your last name. Alright, and the string str2 equals to sc.next. Now let us comment this out so that this doesn't make a difference in what we want. Now let me explain what a comment is. You comment out, these are the symbols for commenting a line. If you comment them out, that means that the compiler is going to ignore all of these. Alright, and now if you want to comment say a document, this is called a document comment, do this and type whatever you want to type, and here it will go. Alright, this is also a kind of comment, and this is the single line comment. You will need it in every line. Alright, now let's run this, and here it asks enter your first name. Let me enter it, Sanchita. Then it asks to enter the last name, and suppose I say it Mishra, and here it takes Sanchita is stored in str1 while Mishra is stored in str2. Now if I want that this should display Sanchita Mishra together, then we need to concatenate the strings. Okay, so how do we do that? It's very simple. Either you create another string like string str3 equals to str1 plus str2, and let's print out str3. Okay, run this, and it asks enter your first name. So it's Sanchita. Enter your last name, it's Mishra, and it displays Sanchita Mishra with no space. So how to add space? As there is plus sign between two strings, you can also add a real string, like I added space but then put plus sign, because you are adding these strings, string 1, then the space, and then string 2. Then run it. Again, you are required to enter first name. I'm entering anything, and here it shows it. The two strings are being concatenated. Now let me comment this out. Now we shall understand the concept of ASCII values. Now if I create a char variable char ch equals to say capital A, we have to use these single quotes for a character variable and these double quotes for a string. If you are storing a string, then it should be within double quotes, while a character needs to be stored inside a single quote. Now I have this A stored in ch variable, and I want to display its ASCII value. Then I would need an integer variable, say int A equals to, and then I'll explicitly convert this character variable into the integer variable int ch, and then I'll print this A sys out and this A. Let me run this, and here we see the ASCII value of capital A is 65. Let's see it for small a. Run this, and the ASCII value of small a is 97. Let's see it for small b. Run this, and we see that the ASCII value is 98. Herein you can see all the ASCII values of each and every character you want. We even have an ASCII value for a space character. Let's see what's the ASCII value of the space. It's 32. So each and every character which you use in the coding part have an ASCII value. You can see it like this, and this is known as typecasting. You are converting a character variable into an integer variable explicitly. Okay, and there's a hierarchy, as in byte char short int long float double, and in that hierarchy the data types are converted into the intense data type by its own. But if you want to convert explicitly to be on the safer side, this is how we do it. Like as in I converted this character variable into the integer variable by specifying that we are converting it into int by writing int over here. If I remove this and run it, then too it will make no difference, because it did it by itself. Because in the hierarchy it is byte char short int, integer is downwards in the list and character is on the top. So character can be converted into an integer implicitly also. But to be on the safer side, if you do not remember the hierarchy, do it as int ch. It will make no difference, but you'll be sure that you're converting it into the integer type. Alright, like you cannot convert a double value into an integer value because double is at the bottom of the list while integer is on the top. Right, so this was typecasting and the ASCII value. Now, let's have a look at the practice questions for the day. So here are your questions. Here's the first question. Write a program to enter total number of COVID affected people and total number of people in your area and calculate the percentage of affected people in real values, that is in decimal points. You are going to use the double data type. The next question is, write a program to ask the name of a person and say hello to him or her. Like I entered Akshit, then it should say hello Akshit. The third is, write a program to ask for a character and print the right triangle pattern using that character. The right angle triangle pattern which we printed in the last video, now instead of that star or @ symbol, you have to use the symbol which is entered by the user. The next is, write a program to print the ASCII value of the given character. The character will be a user input. And just as we printed the ASCII value, you are supposed to print the ASCII value of the entered character. The next is, write a program to concatenate the two entered string. We already did this, but you are going to practice this and with more complicated stuffs like putting spaces in between, commas, full stops, and whatever you could do, explore the things. That's all for the day. Guys, if you like the video, do hit the like icon, subscribe the channel, and hit the notification bell icon so that you can stay tuned with the latest and upcoming videos on this channel. Thank you.